Welcome to the Ping Styles channel. Because he lost an Olympic final. At only 20 years old, he was cyberbullied to the point of being a traitor to the nation. Fans pointed at him and cursed him out. He even received letters demanding he retire to apologize for the Olympic failure. That final almost became a heart demon trauma for his entire life. After that, he reached the men's singles final in 2 consecutive Olympics, but fell short of the championship both times. At the closest point, he could only end up with the title of 3-time Olympic runner-up, retiring full of unwillingness and regret. However, 20 years later, this man, who was once called a traitor to the nation and never won an Olympic men's singles gold medal in his life, instead led his student to sweep the Paris Olympics. Hello everyone, I am Pingpong Personalities. Today, I want to talk about the story of Wang. In 2004, during the Athens Olympics national team selection for men's singles, the 20-year-old young player, Wang, squeezed out Kong Lingwei, unexpectedly becoming the number 3 player for men's singles, which many people found incomprehensible. Although Wang Hao's reverse penhold backhand RPB technique was already showing its edge, Kong Lingwei was, after all, a Grand Slam veteran. His experience and mentality were incomparable to a young player. However, what no one expected was, when Ma Lin was unexpectedly defeated by 8-year-old veteran Waldner, one half of the double insurance was broken. Wang, who was doubted before the tournament, defended the last bit of dignity for the men's team. In the semifinals, facing his teammate, Wang Leqin, to whom he had a 0-10 record, he overcame his trauma to reach the final. At this moment, Wang was only 1 match away from becoming a national hero. However, in the final, against his old rival Ryu Sung-min, whom he had beaten 6 times, Wang failed to win the match as expected. Throughout the entire Olympics, Ryu Sung-min, who was in explosive form, gave the performance of his life in the final. Wang, originally known for his fierce style, was instead suppressed by his opponent's ferocity, ultimately losing 2-4 with regret. When the news of Wang losing the final to Ryu Sung-min spread through TV and newspapers, public opinion in the country exploded. You have to understand that was 2004, and the importance of an Olympic champion was unprecedented. What's more, he lost to a Korean. At this moment, a conspiracy theory also began to spread, because previously, Wang had a 0-10 record against Wang Leqin, but he managed to beat Wang Leqin to enter the final. Some claimed it was an internal decision to let Wang play Ryu Sung-min, believing he had a higher win rate, so Wang Leqin was told to throw the match. Suddenly, scolding and accusations flooded various forums. Wang practically became a traitor to the nation. Some people even sent letters to Wang Hao's home, demanding he cut his hand, retire, and stop playing. At that time, the 20-year-old Wang was almost driven crazy by public opinion. According to Kong Lingwei's recollection, during that period, Wang would wake up from nightmares every night, and Kong would have to comfort him for a long time before he could fall back asleep. At this time, Wang had no idea that the 2004 loss was not the end, but just the beginning of his life of regret. The rain from Athens fell for a full 20 years. In the summer of 2008, the Olympic Games came to China for the first time. The whole nation celebrated. At this time, Wang had already shed the immaturity of 4 years ago. Whether it was his maturing penhold, reverse backhand RPB technique, or his mentality, he had the solid strength to win the championship. Not to mention the mental boost from playing at home. In those 4 years, he had successively won World No. 1. Asian Cup Men's Singles Champion, Asian Games Men's Singles Champion, and World Cup Men's Singles Champion. He was determined to win back the gold medal he lost 4 years ago. However, fate played another huge joke on him. Men's singles final. Facing his experienced senior brother, Ma Lin, Wang Hao was completely figured out, feeling powerful but unable to exert his strength. It made him uncomfortable and frustrated. Another silver medal. The defeat at the Beijing Olympics dealt a huge blow to Wang Hao. He once wanted to retire. The continuous losses from late 2009 to 2010 relentlessly destroyed his will. Maybe my career is just over, Wang Hao thought to himself, until his mentor Liu Guoliang's harsh scolding woke him from his despair. If you continue like this, just leave the national team. Your current state. Are you worthy of a main spot and the fan support? However, just when he finally managed to pull himself together and reached the Olympic men's singles final for the third time, he instead encountered Zhang Jike at his absolute peak, whether in competitive level or mentality. The Wang Hao of 2012 could not compete with the Tibetan Mastiff, and so he could only unwillingly accept his third Olympic singles silver medal. Reaching the Olympic men's singles final 3 consecutive times is an incredible achievement for any player. But for Wang Hao, he was the one who lost. It was a disgrace, although he kept saying that he had no regrets. Losing to Jike, but when saying goodbye to the Olympics, the tears he could barely hold back already told everyone just how unwilling he was. Fortunately, although God closed the door on Wang's championship as a player, he brought him the best student. Fan Zhendong, after retiring in 2014, Wang Hao returned to the Baiyi August 1st team as head coach. Same Baiyi team background, same military athlete status, similar body type. Looking at Fan Zhendong, Wang Hao felt like he was seeing his younger self. In fact, the two Hao Yue Fan Qing nickname had already crossed paths back in 2009. At that time, only 15 years old, Fan Zhendong, who had just joined the Baiyi team for a year, served as Wang Hao's training partner during the national games. It was just that little fatty Zhao Pang had not yet shown his future talent. During practice, he even made too many mistakes and was scolded by Wang Hao until he cried. Before the 2012 London Olympics men's singles final, everyone favored Zhang Jike. Only Fan Zhendong believed that Wang Hao could break the runner-up curse. And in January 2014, the person who defeated Wang Hao in the men's singles quarterfinals of the ITF World Tour Grand Finals was none other than Fan Zhendong. You could say the two had already established a deep bond before becoming master and student. After becoming the coach of the Baiyi team, later, Wang Hao gave everything he had to Fan Zhendong when participating in a TV show. He once said, because as an athlete, he wasn't able to win an Olympic men's singles gold medal, so he hoped that after becoming a coach, he could train a champion. In December 2016, in the China Table Tennis Super League, the Baiyi team, after winning the men's team championship for the first time in 15 years, he excitedly lifted Fan Zhendong up as if to tell the whole world he is the best. Just as he later said on social media, I want to give you the best of everything. However, perhaps it was destiny, as Wang Hao's student, Fan Zhendong also experienced a similar fate as his master. In April 2017, Wang Hao returned to the national team to formally coach Fan Zhendong. That year, Fan Zhendong won 7 silver medals. In 2021, at the Tokyo Olympics, having reached World No, 1 inch the era of the Three Musketeers, Fan Zhendong, who had won everything, lost 2 to 4 inches the final to his teammate Ma Long. The familiar World No. 1, the familiar prodigy, the familiar loss in a domestic civil war. Everything was just like Wang Hao's experience at the 2008 Olympics. Perhaps only he could truly empathize with Fan Zhendong's experience. The moment the 2024 Paris Olympics draw was released, everyone said Fan Zhendong was placed in the half of death. No one was optimistic, as during the Olympic cycle, little fatty Xiao Pang, was in a slump. But when the highly anticipated Wang Chuqin was eliminated early, Wang Hao, once the most reliable guardian of the half for the Chinese men's team, and his proudest disciple, Fan Zhendong, once again defended the dignity of the national team. Quarterfinals. Facing Tomokazu Harimoto, Fan Zhendong, in a desperate situation, down 0-2, staged an incredible, shocking comeback. Long ball, yeah. In the deciding game, thereby defeating the Japanese player 4-3. Harimoto, a match of survival to get into the top 4. Witnessing the moment his disciple completed the comeback, Wang Hao's eyes were already brimming with tears. This scene, in Athens in 2004, how similar they were. In the final against Muragord, Fan Zhendong did not let the regret of 20 years ago repeat itself, a clean 4-1. He became the 3rd player in the history of the national team to achieve the Super Grand Slam. For the moment Fan Zhendong won the last point, Wang Hao could no longer contain his emotions. He rushed onto the court and tightly embraced his most cherished disciple, kissed his forehead, and then lifted him high. The long rain that had fallen for 20 years, finally, on this day, saw the sky clear. Master, the dream you couldn't achieve. 20 years ago, I achieved it for you. I saw it. Thank you. Please don't call him the 3-time Olympic runner-up. He is the hero who, for 3 consecutive Olympics, guarded the men's singles half of the draw for the national team.